discuss about the disadvantages of electric traction, and this class is for fifth semester diploma electrical students. So we will discuss straightly with the disadvantages of the electric traction, because this system, though it possesses many advantages, but still it has some disadvantages also. So they are having higher initial expenditure. It involves is involved in electric traction. So the capital cost required for the manufacturing, or you can say for setting a electric traction system, is higher. Failure of supply is a problem to be faced in electric traction, because if there is a power failure, then the system will be shut down. Without power, it is useless. Now the material, or the electrically operated vehicles have to move only on electrified tracks. So this has to be moved only in electrified tracks only. For the achievement of electric braking and control, additional equipment is required. In case of DC series motor, the regenerative braking is not or cannot be easily achieved. So in case of DC series motor, regenerative braking cannot be used efficiently. When an AC energy is utilized for traction, then precautions are to be taken to prevent the distribution network to interfere with the adjacent telegraph and telephone lines. So students, this telephone lines or telegraph line, if they travel along with the electric lines, then there will be interference, and due to this interference you will face electronic transmission problems, or the data sent by the telephonic lines will produce noises. So this interference will exist if this electric traction lines will go or travel along with this telephone lines or your adjacent telegraph lines. So it should be avoided as far as possible. Now, system of electric traction in India. Electrification of the track has been confined to the urban and suburban areas, or the lines in the vicinity of large cities, that is Bombay, Calcutta, Madras, and now from Delhi onwards also. The two types of vehicles are used for electric traction. The first type of vehicles receive power from a distribution network, while the second type of vehicle generate their own. In the second category becomes diesel engine, electric drives. The former type of vehicles are used on an AC or DC power from the overhead line. Accordingly, there are two systems of electric traction. The first one is your DC system. The DC traction in India exists only in Bombay region, that is Western Railway, and some parts of Madras. In this system, the electric motors used are DC series motors. The operating voltage is generally about 600 volt for suburban railways and tram cars. For mainline railways, the operating voltage is from 1500 volts to 3000 volts. The motor receives power from an overhead line with the help of a pantograph, and the railway steel track is the return conductor. The overhead wire is fed from the various substation. This substation receives power from 3-phase 11 kV or 3-phase 33 kV or 3-phase 66 kV transmission line. Then this AC power is converted into DC power by using mercury arc rectifier or rotary converters. The modern trend is to use semiconductor rectifiers. The distance between substation depends upon the factor like voltage drop and traffic density. For suburban services, the distance between the substation is 3 to 5 km, whereas for main line service, it is about 40 to 50 kilometers. AC systems. So the second type of system is your AC systems. The AC system in India is being employed from Howrah to Tundla, recently extended up to New Delhi and from Madras to Tamram. The modern development in electric traction is to use single phase AC supply. The AC system used in practice is a further of four types. So this AC system which we are using, they are of four types. So what are the four types? The first type is three phase AC system. In this system employs three phase slip ring induction motor, speed control being obtained by a combination of pole changing and rotor resistance method. The main disadvantage of this system is that regenerative braking is obtained immediately as the speed exceeds the synchronous speed. Without any change in condition, the voltage and frequency at which the motor is made to operate are about 3600 volt at 50 by 3 cycles per second or 16 full 2 by 3 cycles per second. The major disadvantage is the use of two overhead conductors, third being the rail itself, and hence the system is almost out of use. Single phase stranded or standard frequency system. In this system is also known as composite system of traction. This system is employed in India on southeastern and eastern railways. The system has a single phase or single overhead wire supplied at 25 kV at a frequency of 50 Hz, which is the standard industrial frequency. A transformer is mounted on the locomotive and it steps down the voltage, which is further rectified and supplied to the traction motors. The substation are supplied at a higher voltage to up to 132 kV, which is stepped down to 25 kV by transformer installed at each substation. With the development of semiconductors rectifiers, the system has become very popular and is being increasingly adopted throughout the world. All modern electric traction work is being done by this system. As compared to mercury arc rectifier, semiconductors rectifiers are more reliable, more efficient, and simple to maintain. The driving force is obtained from DC series motor. Now the third type of system is your single phase low frequency system. In this type of system, single phase 15 kV 50 by 3 cycles per second or 16 full 2 by 3 cycles per second system is used in West Germany, Sweden, and Australia for the main line service. In some urban areas of United States of America, 11 kV at 25 Hz is also employed. A step down transformer is carried in the traction unit, which steps down the voltage to about 400 volt for the use of traction motors. Each substation is supplied at a high voltage at a standard frequency. The voltage at the substation is stepped down and frequency is also converted by a motor alternator set. Series motor is also employed in for traction. Due to commutating difficulties at normal frequency on such motors, a low frequency supply is essential. The main advantage of this system is that a special low frequency power dissipation network is required. Now the fourth type is single phase to three phase system, that is popularly known as Kondo system. So in this Kondo system, single phase high voltage AC system is employed for distribution network. The locomotives carry a phase converter which converts single phase AC to three phase. The three phase supply is connected to three-phase induction motor for getting the necessary driving force. The system has the advantage of low cost distribution and cheap and robust construction of induction motors. The voltage used for distribution network is 16,000 volt at 50 Hz. This system is adopted in Hungary. The advantages of 25 kV AC systems over DC system. So the advantages are light overhead catenary. Use of high voltage in the overhead system reduces the current in the line, which makes use of small sized conductor. So by using light overhead catenary, the small sized conductors can be used. Small sized conductors being light, it is very easy to support them. Thus operating structures required are quite light. Although the high voltage needs more insulation, which becomes quite expensive, but reduction in size of conductor has overwhelming effects. So saving in substation. In high voltage AC system, since current run is less, so voltage drops, which are mainly due to reactance of the line, are also quite less. This provides longer distance between two substation. Since the distance between the substation is large, so more flexibility can be used in setting up substation as compared to DC system, in which the distance between the substation is quite small. Proper location of substation near to national high voltage grid, which incidentally in this country runs closer to rail tracks. So this reduces the capital expenditure on the transmission line, which is fed the substation, which is to fed the substation. Now in case of DC system, since the substation cannot be appropriately located near the grid, so separate transmission lines have to be run for feeding the substation, which become quite a expensive. Now AC substation have lesser equipment and it is easier to maintain them. Starting efficiency of AC locomotive is higher than that of DC locomotive. So the starting efficiency as compared to DC locomotive, AC locomotive have higher starting efficiency. The 25 kV AC system is much cheaper to DC system as far as cost of fixed insulation is concerned. So there are lots of advantages of using AC locomotives. So what are the disadvantages of 25 kV AC systems? So the first disadvantage is single phase AC system impose unbalancing effect on the supply system. It produces interference with telecommunication lines. Block diagram of an AC locomotive is as in your screen. So this is the typical block diagram of AC locomotive. Yes. So there are some numbers which you can definitely see in your screen. Number 1, this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. Number 8. Yes, these are number 8s. So what are these things? So the first one is your catenary, which is the straight line which I have shown. Now the second, number 2 is the pantograph. Which one is the pantograph? This is the pantograph. In railway lines or in railway engines also you might have seen this pantograph attached to the catenary. The third one is your circuit breaker. Circuit breaker is a safety device, which is the number 3 point. Now, on load tap changers, which is number 4. This is a tap changing transformer. On load tap changers. Number 5 is a transformer. Number 6, it is a rectifier, which will convert the AC power to DC power or AC to DC. Smoothing reactors, it will filter out the DC. DC motor used for traction is number 8. So these are the motors connected, which will be running by DC supply. So this is the typical diagram of an AC locomotive, or the block diagram. Now we will discuss each part of them briefly. Catenary, it is it is an overhead wire of special cross section. The catenary is supplied at 25 kV and 50 cycles per second. The supply AC. High voltage is tapped from catenary by pantograph. So its voltage is 25 kV at 50 Hz. Now the second number 2 is your pantograph. This is a device used for collecting current from the catenary. Pantograph is mounted on the top of the roof of the vehicle and carries a sliding shoe for contact with overhead catenary. The pantograph is raised or lowered as and when required from the driver's cabin by air pressure. Number 3, circuit breaker. The function of the circuit breaker is to disconnect the engine from the line side in case of some fault occurs in the electrical equipment of the engine. On load tap changers. On load tap changer is used for varying the output voltage for controlling the speed of motor. Now the transformer. A tap changing transformer is installed in the locomotive for stepping down the voltage according to the requirement of traction motors. So student, this traction motor or the transformer is of the tap changing type. According to the taps, the number of voltage will be increased or decreased. So this was number 5. Now we have a rectifier unit also. Why we require a rectifier? Because we are employing or we are using a DC motors for running this what you can say, the locomotive. Now as it is, as the motor is of DC, the supply given to this motor should be also DC. So we require a rectifying unit. So the rectifiers used here are of semiconductors rectifiers, which are used for the conversion of AC power to DC power. Smoothing reactors. Any ripples found in the outside or the output side of the rectifier are eliminated by the smoothing reactor fitted after the rectifier. Now the DC voltage free from any ripples is fed to DC motor fitted between the wheels of the engine. Now DC motor used for traction. A number of traction motors are installed according to the power of locomotives. Now electrification systems. Now what are the electrification systems now? Various systems by means of which electrification is shown in the chart which is given in the next page. So different system of traction. The various systems of traction for rail road operation commonly used for are described as below. Direct steam engine. The reciprocating system or steam engine is most widely employed for railroad operation. In this type of drive, the reciprocating system engine, steam engine, is invariably used for getting the necessary motive power because of its inherent simplicity, the simplicity of connection between the cylinders and the driving wheels, and the easy speed control. The locomotive and train unit is self-contained, therefore it is not tied to a route. Now, the main advantages of such a system are: initial investment required is low in comparison with that of electric drive, as no overload structure. Distribution system and power generation is required. It has simple controls. It is cheap for low density traffic areas and in initial stages of communication by rails. Now, there are some disadvantages also. Low efficiency, that is from 6 to 8%. The cost of maintenance is also higher. It is limited overload capacity, greater wear of track because of the oscillating parts, atmospheric containment, and corrosion of steel structures and building due to smoke. Direct internal combustion engine. The characteristics of an IC engine is that it produces almost constant torque at all speed. To increase the starting torque and also for speed control, a gearbox has to be provided. Such an arrangement is only applied to small trolleys, wherein a petrol engine is used. The efficiency of internal combustion engine at its normal speed is about 25%. Now we'll discuss some of its advantages. So due to its initial investment required being only the cost of the vehicle and garage is very low. Speed control and braking system employed is very simple. It is cheap drive for the outer suburbs and country districts. Disadvantages: its overload capacity is limited on account of speed, torque characteristics of the engine. Now, the speed torque or the speed control is possible only by employing a gearbox. So, without employing a gearbox, we cannot control its speed. The maintenance and running costs are higher. As the fuel oil is to be imported in our country, therefore, there is drain on foreign exchange, which is vital for expanding economy of the country. In wartime, this system may be completely paralyzed. It is not suited for heavy railway work as the arrangement possible for speed control and utilizing the torque of engine to full capacity when running in full speed is not altogether satisfactory for it. Now, the internal combustion engine or the electric drive. In this system, the the retardation gear and gearbox are eliminated as a diesel engine drives as DC generator coupled to it at a constant speed. Which supplies power to electric motors fitted with the wheels. Locomotives of this type of drive are becoming widely used because they have found considerable favor for electric or railway work. Advantages: no modification of existing track is required for convenience, from steam traction to diesel engine electric traction. Low capital cost as it does not involve track electrification. Now, greater tractive efforts as compared to steam engine and hence greater rate of acceleration at starting. Better riding qualities due to having smooth acceleration and braking. Time for which the locomotive is out of service for maintenance is less and hence higher availability. Absence of smoke and dirt and hence convenience for passengers. Overall efficiency is greater Then the steam locomotives about 25% in comparison to 8% or so in case of steam locomotives. For the above mentioned reason, this system is widely used for high speed line operating in countries where oil is plenty. It is also ideally suited on a long routes passing through deserts where coal and water for a steam engine could have to be transported. So this is all about today's class. Thank you students for watching.